Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Doc Kirby. I'm a charter and continuing member of the Southeast.Alabama Community Band. Welcome to Troy University and this evening's concert by the Southeast.Alabama Community Band. This is our 25th season. To open tonight's festivities, please welcome Troy Arts Council President Maggie Hammond.
Good evening, everyone. As president of the Troy Arts Council, it is truly my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's concert celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Southeast.Alabama Community Band under the direction of Ray Smith. We are glad you're here as we honor a quarter century of outstanding music from this group of musicians. Thank you for joining us and for supporting the arts in Troy. Your presence tonight helps us fulfill our mission to promote and nurture cultural arts in our community. The Troy Arts Council is proud to present performances like this one, and it's your continued support that makes them possible. We are especially grateful to our patrons and season ticket holders for your dedication to the arts. I also want to recognize the vital support we receive from the City of Troy, the Pike County Commission, the Alabama State Council on the Arts, Troy University, and the Troy Arts Council Board of Directors. These partnerships and their encouragement help make evenings like this one possible. And a special thank you to our corporate sponsor, Troy Bank and Trust, for its generous commitment to the arts. And now I have two awards I'd like to present tonight. Each year, the Troy Arts Council presents awards for professional artists and volunteers. And tonight, the Professional Musician Award goes to Sam Frederick. Sam, please come forward. Sam is originally from Troy and played percussion at Charles Henderson High School and at Troy University. While he was still pursuing his degree in music, Dr. Long asked Sam to consider staying at Troy after graduation and joining the faculty. He began teaching at Troy in the fall of 1978, first as a percussion instructor and later as a music appreciation instructor. He is currently in his 46th year of teaching at Troy. He worked with the Sound of the South drumline for many years. He was a founding member of the Southeast.Alabama Community Band, where he still plays. In addition to the community band, he currently plays percussion with the Montgomery Recreators Big Band, Capitol Sounds Concert Band, The Usual Suspects, and Jazzin'. The Professional Musician Award presented to Sam Frederick. And if you'll stay up here. Stand up here. Day Barnes is the recipient of our Professional Artist Award. Day, there you are. So Day Barnes, after teaching art classes for 20 years in conjunction with the Johnson Center for the Arts in Troy, Day Barnes retired in 2024. Day earned a BFA in art education at the University of Southern Mississippi and taught art for 18 years in the Troy and Pike County school systems before starting an after-school art program for homeschool, private school, and public school children in 2005. So the Professional Artist Award is presented to Day Barnes. Oh, thank you. And one thing you'll notice that both of these people are teachers. So they're musicians, but they've also taught for decades and taught so many people in our community. So thank you both. And is Pat Duke here? I don't think she was able to make it tonight, but she receives our volunteer award, and we'll recognize her at a special reception in October when we're going to have an exhibit at the Johnson Center for the Arts from our permanent art collection that she did most of the curation for during her time on the Arts Council. Thank you. And next up, Mayor Reeves has something for us.
Sam's mom, Miss Ruby, took care of me when I was a kid at the junior high school. I was thinking about her the other day, and we are so blessed, and of course Miss Pat Duke's a legend. We're so blessed in Troy, Pike County, and in Southeast Alabama to have an incredible amount of artists, musicians, and folks that just bring so much to our community. When I was on a little earlier, when I knew I was going to do this, I have a picture that I keep on my phone of one of the most special moments that I had in my, what's going on 29 years in public service. It's right over there. I got to give Dr. Johnny Long a sign that named the street back here John M. Long Drive. And every time I look at that picture, I smile. Part of it's because Miss Mary Lynn was in this full belly laugh, and Dr. Long was just Dr. Long. You know, he made everybody feel special, and he expected something out of everybody. And I'm very grateful to be here tonight. I'm very grateful that 25 years ago, he founded this band, and that all of you have worked so hard and given of your time. And the city's very honored that we could proclaim today Southeast Alabama Band Day, Community Band Day, and I think we're going to provide you, as we usually do, with a great meal tonight after you've worked so hard. But I'm going to read this proclamation, if you'll bear with me. It won't take long. Whereas the Southeast Alabama Community Band was founded in 2000 by legendary bandmaster Dr. John M. Long to provide a musical outlet for adult musicians and to bring live concert performances to communities throughout the region. Whereas the band has grown to include more than 80 registered members ranging in age from 16 to 86 who rehearse weekly in Long Hall on the campus of Troy University. Whereas the band draws members from across Southeast Alabama and has become a cornerstone of civic musical engagement and regional arts collaboration. And whereas the Troy Arts Council has proudly hosted the band's annual spring concert for many years, helping to cultivate the community's appreciation for live music and the performing arts. Whereas the year 2025 marks the band's 25th season of performance excellence, community service, and musical outreach. Now therefore I, Jason A. Reeves, Mayor of the City of Troy, Alabama, do hereby proclaim May 5th, 2025 as Southeast Alabama Community Band Day in the city of Troy, Alabama, and encourage all citizens to join in honoring the band's legacy and ongoing contributions to the cultural life of our community. A special 25th anniversary concert will be held on this day at Claudia Crosby Theater in Troy, Alabama, and it has my signature. Ray, can I give this to you, please, sir?
Mayor Reeves, it's fitting that you mentioned how much of an influence that Dr. Long had, and that you were able to be very influential in getting a road named after him. Well, we would like to present you from the community band with a challenge coin that we had designed, and on this challenge coin it has a picture of Dr. Long on it. But this is something we had made up, and it was made up well before he passed away, and he even had a copy himself. But we want to present you with a copy of this coin to hold in your office or keep in your pocket, whatever you would like to do, as a thank you for all you've done for this city and for this community band here as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's a pleasure. Thank y'all.
At this time, we'd like to invite Dr. Peter Howard to come forward to help with a special presentation. For the last 25 years, the Southeast Alabama Community Band's mission has been to provide an opportunity for adults to enjoy making music together, presenting live concerts across our area, and to encourage people of all ages to appreciate great band music. To advance these goals, last year, the first Caroline Howard Music Study Scholarships were presented to 2 young musicians. The scholarships were in honor of one of our band's most faithful members, whose current physical problems kept her from performing with us. This year's recipient is pursuing a music education degree at Troy University. He is an outstanding young performer and a faithful member of our group. Do I read the scholarships? Because it says the scholarships read. Cool, just being sure. The scholarships read: the Southeast.Alabama Community Band is honored to present the 2nd annual Caroline Howard Music Studies Scholarship to Dominique Taylor. Founded in 2000 by legendary band director Dr. Johnny Long, our band is now in its 25th anniversary season. Please welcome Professor Ray Smith and the Southeast.Alabama Community Band. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as you are able for the playing of our national anthem. You may be seated. In our 25th anniversary season, the Southeast.Alabama Community Band is honored to perform for you tonight. What better way to start a band concert than with a John Philip Sousa march? First performed 100 years ago this spring, Mr. Smith and the Southeast.Alabama Community Band opens tonight's concert with Sousa's The Black Horse Troupe. concert tonight is a celebration of America and American music. 250 years ago, last month, at the Battle of Concord, the first shots were fired in the American Revolution. Composed by Clare Grundman for the United States Marine Band, our next selection was first performed in Boston at the Conference of the World Association of Symphonic Bands and Ensembles. Grundman's Concord Overture is a tribute to the patriots of the American Revolution. Grundman chose 3 Revolutionary period songs, including the fife and drum marching song, The White Cockade, William Billings' song, America, and the top hit of 1770, Yankee Doodle. The Southeast.Alabama Community Band continues our tribute to American music with Clare Grundman's Concord Overture. The early American tradition of folk singing was vitally important in our young country as we began the westward expansion. A single voice or instrument was all that was needed to remind those pioneers of family and home. One such tune, "The Water is Wide," was often heard as Americans push west across the Ohio River. This tune reemerged in the early 1960s as a popular folk song hit for Pete Seeger. To perform "The Water is Wide," please welcome soloist Jenny Dart and Associate Director of the Southeast.Alabama Community Band, Dr. Alan Clark. American Hero was composed by Bruce Broughton as a tribute to General Robert L. Scott and was commissioned by Major Alan Clark while he was commander and conductor of the United States Air Force Band of the Reserves. Our United States Armed Forces are the finest in the world because of those who choose to serve and their unmatched commitment. General Robert Scott began his military commitment in World War II. During that time, while serving as a fighter pilot, he published his best-selling book, God is My Co-Pilot. Dr. Clark now leads the Southeast Alabama Community Band in a tribute to a true American hero.
the microphone for a second. When I called Bruce Broughton to write something for our Air Force band, he didn't want to do it because he had just finished doing an 8-minute trumpet concerto for Ron Blaze, who was the principal trumpet in the Air Force band at that time. And I said, well, I only need an overture. He said, oh. So he ended up writing that. Bruce has written, you may be familiar with the movie Tombstone. He wrote that, or Silverado was one that he got an Academy Award for, I think, composing. There were several other things that he did. The new Lost in Space, I call it, I think it's 1998, but it was newer than the TV show from the 60s, so anyway. But he didn't pull any punches with that. And one of the neat things about it, some of you may have noticed, is bum-ba-dum. How many times did that happen? About 300? Okay. Off we go into the wild blue yonder. Get it? That's a Bruce Broughton joke. Anyway, I wanted to tell you how much I appreciate the band playing something that was written by a composer who only writes with the best players in the world for movie music. So I really appreciate what they did tonight. It's a great job. Thank you.
The American Civil War was the turning point that solidified our United States as one nation under God. There can be no more important American music than that now known as African American spirituals. Deep River is a classic example and one of the best known and most beloved of these songs of hope and longing. It expresses the desire for peace and freedom both in the present and in the afterlife. As tonight's featured soloist, we are honored to be joined by Professor Carlton Copeland. With degrees from Florida State University and Troy University, Professor Copeland now serves as Professor of Music Education, Director of the Troy University Collegiate Singers, and Director of the vocal jazz group Frequency. Please welcome Professor Carlton Copeland. Professor Copeland and the Southeast.Alabama Community Band Singers now perform John Rutter's inspiring arrangement of Deep River.
River, my home cross over into campground. I want to cross over into campground.
Please welcome to the podium Maggie Hammond, Troy Arts Council President, and Michael O'Hara, a founding member of the Southeast.Alabama Community Band, as they join Carlton for a special presentation. Carlton Copeland has been a blessing to Troy University and the city of Troy. As his life moves in a new direction next year, we want Carlton to know how much we all appreciate him.
Carl, this is from the Troy Arts Council. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you've been meant to this community. You've been here just a brief time, but you are a musical legend. You remind me of the musical pillars that we had in our community, Johnny Long, Jim Bell, Dr. Dennison, Jerry Spann, those people who just meant so much to Troy, and Mississippi is very lucky to be.
On behalf of the Southeast Alabama Community Band, Michael O'Hara now presents a special challenge coin to Professor Copeland, not president yet, to Professor Copeland to recognize his dedication to music and music education. He is an artist, a teacher, and a true friend.
Professor, I want you to know that every time you have sung this song, it has been a joy and a pleasure, and it's calmed my heart to hear that. So thank you for a job well done, and you always have a place in our band. You don't have to say anything to say it.
The Southeast Alabama Community Band is fortunate to have many music educators as members of our group. Our next conductor is a graduate of Troy University, a great trumpet player, a wonderful pianist, and the director of bands at Charles Henderson High School. Please welcome Mr. Tyler Logan. The American march form is most often identified as music for military ceremonies. During the early 20th century, these standard military marches were used for a very different purpose. Marches of composers like Carl often included a subtitle that said March or Gallop. These compositions, often used during performances at rodeos and circuses, were also known as screamers because of their very fast tempos. Hold on to your horses. Tyler Logan leads the Southeast.Alabama Community Band in the Carl King Circus March, The Hosts of Freedom. It's okay. No bleeding. 1978, Dr. Johnny Long commissioned composer Jim Mahaffey to create a work that would showcase the music of George Gershwin. Dr. Long presented a list of tunes to Mr. Mahaffey that he wished to be used in it. It included Rapsody in Blue, which, by the way, celebrated its centennial last year. They Can't Take That Away From Me, Our Love Is Here to Stay, But Not For Me, Someone to Watch Over Me, I've Got a Crush on You, and Strike Up the Band. The resulting composition was magic. The Southeast.Alabama Community Band and vocal soloist, yours truly, now performs the 1978 original manuscript of Jim Mahaffey's great arrangement he titled Troy State Plays Gershwin. There's a somebody I'm longing to see. I hope that she turns out to be someone who'll watch over me. I'm a little lamb who's lost in the wood. I know that I could always be good to one who watch over me. Although I may not be the man some girls think of as handsome, to my heart she carries the key. Won't you tell her please to put on some speed? Follow my lead, oh how I need someone who'll watch over me. I've got a crush on you, sweetie pie, all the day and night time. Hear me sigh. I never had the least notion that I could fall with such devotion. Could you coo? Could you care for a cunning cottage that we could share? The world will pardon our mush, because I have got a crush, my baby, on you. Welcome to the podium the Associate Director and a founding member of the Southeast.Alabama Community Band, Troy University Professor Emeritus, James W. Smith, Jr. The past year has been challenging. Hurricanes, the Los Angeles fires, the 2024 elections, trade wars, conflicts in Europe and the Middle East, snow in South Alabama. Sometimes we might find it a little hard to appreciate our many blessings and just how lucky we truly are. The great jazz musician Louis Armstrong was a homeless child from the streets of New Orleans. His life demonstrated to the world that thing that has always made America great: opportunity. Armstrong's hard work, talent, his joy, and love were evident in every note he played and sang. In 1967, Louis Armstrong recorded his most popular vocal. After all he'd been through, he recognized that it truly was what a wonderful world. The Smith brothers, James and Ray, have been a part of Troy University since it was Troy State College in the late 1960s. They were recruited to Troy to assist the legendary Dr. Johnny Long and to help grow the Troy University band program into what it is today, under the leadership of Dr. Mark Walker. A job well done. The Smith brothers and the Southeast.Alabama Community Band now perform "What a Wonderful World."
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see clouds of blue, skies of blue, and clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, how pretty in the sky. So are the faces of the people walking by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, how pretty in the sky. And so are the faces of the folks walking by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? There is they saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. It's so wonderful. It's marvelous. It's so wonderful.
Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture is one of the greatest musical works ever written, a true classic and a favorite of our founder, Dr. Johnny Long. As we conclude the Southeast Alabama Community Band's 25th season, several band members suggested that it would be altogether fitting to perform it tonight. Although written to celebrate the defeat of Napoleon, people all over the world have adopted this work to celebrate great accomplishments. Our performance tonight is a celebration of 25 years of fellowship and great music we have enjoyed together. Although we will not be including fireworks or cannons, as they do every year on the 4th of July celebration on the Washington Mall, and we actually have done that a time or two for outside stuff, and it was not exciting because they shot the cannons off right behind the drums, which are right behind the trumpets. Nonetheless, we think it would be perfect for our anniversary celebration. Mr. Ray Smith and the Southeast Alabama Community Band now perform Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture. Our band's founder and first director, Dr. Johnny Long, considered John Philip Sousa's The Stars and Stripes Forever to be the greatest march ever written. During his time as president of the American Bandmasters Association, Dr. Long was instrumental, no pun intended, in establishing it as the National March of the United States. Our band never plays a concert without including it. This evening, we have a very special guest with us, the other half of the team that made music at Troy University a national treasure. When she and her husband moved to Troy, there were 17 players in the Troy College Band. This year marks the 60th anniversary of the move that changed Troy forever. Please help us recognize Mrs. Mary Lynn Long. It is our tradition that the principal director of the Southeast.Alabama Community Band always conducts the Stars and Stripes. Our band has been fortunate to have had 3 outstanding directors during our 25 years. Our founding director, Dr. Johnny Long, Professor James W. Smith, Jr., and our current director, Professor Ray Smith. Tonight, the Southeast.Alabama Community Band is proud to announce and introduce that new leader. Assuming this position as one of the finest band conductors in America, he is a published author, a member of the prestigious American Bandmasters Association, director of bands at Troy University, and director of the Sound of the South Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium the new director of the Southeast.Alabama Community Band, Dr. Mark Walker. Dr. Walker and the Southeast.Alabama Community Band now play John Philip Sousa's immortal march, The Stars and Stripes Forever. The Southeast Alabama Community Band is honored to perform for you this evening. We would like to say a special thank you for the invaluable support of Dr. Jack Hawkins Jr., Chancellor of Troy University, Dr. Michael Thrasher, Dean of the College of Communication and Fine Arts, Dr. Mark Walker, Troy University Director of Bands, Dr. Wei-Ting Yang, the Director of the John M. Long School of Music, Aaron Taylor, Troy University Television, Professor Kenneth Beck for technical assistance, Maggie Hammond and the Troy Arts Council, Mayor Jason Reeves and the City of Troy. And thank you for helping us to honor America.
enough.